Imagine this. You're completely new to credit. No history. No mistakes. But somehow, you have a perfect credit score. Banks are fighting to give you their best cards. You're getting approved for premium offers most people wait years to unlock. Sounds impossible? In 2026, it's more realistic than you think. And today, I'm walking you through exactly what happens when you're a beginner with perfect credit. Stay with me, because what credit card companies do when they see a fresh, perfect score might surprise you. And it could completely change how you build your financial future. You're 22, just got your first job, never had a credit card before. But through smart moves, your FICO score is already sitting at 750 or even 780 plus. What do credit card companies see when they look at you? Not a beginner. They see a golden opportunity. A low-risk, high-potential customer who can become extremely profitable over the next decade. This is the ultimate POV most people never experience. And in this video, we're breaking down exactly how issuers treat you at this rare starting point in 2026. Why perfect credit as a beginner changes everything. Most beginners start with damaged or thin credit files. You're starting at the top. That means credit card companies don't see risk. They see future profit. They know if they treat you right now, you'll become a loyal, high-spending customer for years. And they're willing to bend rules to get you in the door. Level 1. The first applications. What actually happens? You open the Chase app or Amex website as a complete beginner with a 760-plus score. What do you see? You're not getting rejected. You're getting pre-approved for cards most people need years of history to qualify for. Chase Freedom Unlimited, Capital One Saver One. Even the Chase Sapphire Preferred becomes realistic on your very first application. Why? Because your perfect score tells them you're responsible. No late payments. Low or zero debt. Clean file. Companies love that. They fast-track your application. Sometimes you get instant approval with higher starting limits than normal beginners. But here's what most people miss. Even with perfect credit, as a thin-file beginner, some issuers are still cautious. Amex might start you with a lower limit. Chase might want to see some spending history first. They want proof you're real. The cards you can actually get as a beginner with perfect credit. Let's be honest, you're not getting the Amex Platinum or Chase Sapphire Reserve on day one. Those usually need relationship and spending history. But you are getting strong starter premium cards. Chase Sapphire Preferred? Very possible. Capital One Venture? High chance. Amex Gold? Often approved with perfect score even with thin file. These cards give you real rewards from day one. 3 times points on dining. Travel protections. Sign-up bonuses worth $500 to $1,000. All while building even more credit history. How companies treat you differently. Normal beginners get basic cards with low limits and high APRs. Companies are competing for you. You get better welcome offers, faster credit limit increases, sometimes even relationship manager outreach. They see your perfect score as a signal you'll be a premium customer soon. But there's a catch. You have to play it perfectly. 1 late payment, 1 maxed out card, and that perfect score can drop fast. Companies watch new accounts very closely. The smart strategy most beginners. With perfect credit, don't rush and apply for every card you qualify for. Even with perfect credit, too many applications in a short time can raise red flags. Start with 1 or 2 strong cards. Use them responsibly. Let your score and history build naturally. Then expand. This is how you turn perfect credit as a beginner into a long-term advantage. What banks are secretly thinking when they see your file. When Chase or Amex pulls your report and sees a high score with short history, they think one thing: this person is going to spend a lot and pay on time. That's why they give you better terms than the average beginner. Higher limits, better rewards, faster approvals. But they also know thin files are unpredictable, so they test you. Small limits at first. They watch your spending patterns. Pay on time for 6 months, and those limits start jumping. This is the golden window most people waste. Don't. Use it wisely. Real examples. From 2026. I've seen beginners with 750+ scores get approved for the Chase Sapphire Preferred with just 3 months of credit history. Others get the Capital One Venture X after one strong starter card. The difference? They understood how companies think. They didn't apply randomly. They built intentionally. The psychological trap beginners with perfect credit fall into. Here's the dangerous part. When you have perfect credit as a beginner, it's easy to feel invincible. You start thinking you can handle every card. You spend more. Utilization creeps up. And suddenly, your perfect score isn't so perfect anymore. Stay disciplined. Perfect credit is a tool, not permission to overspend. The people who keep that score long-term are the ones who treat it like the advantage it is. The hidden advantages most beginners never maximize. With perfect credit as a beginner, you're in a rare position. Companies are more willing to give you higher starting limits than they normally would. Some even bypass certain requirements because your score signals low risk. But here's what separates the smart ones from everyone else. You don't just take the cards, you use them strategically. You focus on building a strong payment history while maximizing rewards. You let your thin file grow naturally without making risky moves. This is how you turn a perfect starting score into a lifelong financial superpower. Common mistakes that destroy perfect credit. Fast. Even with a high score, beginners make deadly errors. Maxing out your first card. Applying for too many cards in the first 6 months. Carrying a balance just because you can. One late payment can drop your score 100 points. High utilization looks terrible on a thin file. Companies notice these things immediately, and they adjust how they treat you. The ones who keep perfect credit understand this. They keep utilization under 10%. They pay in full every single month. They build slowly and intentionally. That's the real secret. How to leverage perfect credit as a beginner in 2026. Start with one strong, no annual fee card. Something like the Chase Freedom Unlimited or Capital One Saver One. Use it for everyday spending. Pay it off completely every month. After 3 to 6 months of perfect behavior, go for a premium travel card. This latter approach works incredibly well when you start with perfect credit. Companies see your responsible pattern and reward it with better offers. Also, consider getting an authorized user card on a family member's account if possible. It can help thicken your file faster. Just make sure the primary user has excellent payment history. The long-term game. Most people miss perfect credit as a beginner isn't just about getting good cards today. It's about positioning yourself for massive opportunities tomorrow. Mortgage rates, auto loans, even job opportunities where credit checks matter. By starting strong and staying disciplined, you're setting yourself up for decades of lower borrowing costs and better financial products. This is compound advantage at its finest. Final truth: your perfect score is a responsibility. Having perfect credit as a beginner is an incredible head start, but it's also a responsibility. Companies are watching you closely. They want to see if you're the real deal or just lucky? Use this advantage wisely. Build good habits now. Stay disciplined. Don't let early success make you careless. The people who keep perfect credit for years are the ones who treat it like the powerful tool it is. They don't chase every offer. They don't overspend. They play the long game. So if you're a beginner with perfect credit in 2026, congratulations. You're in an elite position. Now go make the most of it. Drop your current credit score and how long you've had credit in the comments. I'll tell you exactly what your next smart move should be. This is how you don't just start with perfect credit. You finish with a perfect financial life. See you in the next one.